Are you ready to take action to attain the lifestyle of your dreams?
It's a great way to make a lot of money fast.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Clever Investor Show. I'm your lucky host, Cody Sperber, the original Clever Investor. Today's show is going to be the hottest episode we've ever done, guaranteed, because we got Veronica Perasso on the show with us and her husband, Joe Fazio, in the house. Veronica is in the top 75 creators in the entire world on OnlyFans. She's making an absolute killing on the platform. And you guys know this is a financial literacy podcast, but I'm mixing it up a little bit because there's so many ways to make money out there. And especially with the economy shifting and the way things are changing, I wanted to kind of open it up, kind of go into some of those alternative areas where there's a lot of people. Look, just understand this. And I got some stats on OnlyFans right now. There are over 170 million users on OnlyFans right now. There's over 1.5 million creators. She's in the top like 75. They don't really publish a list except for the top 5. She might be in the top 50. We don't know. But she's one of the highest paid creators. Over 500,000 new people are subscribing to OnlyFans every single day. This platform has exploded. It's one of the top 50 most visited websites in the world. So we got to talk about it because you guys are killing it on the platform. So first off, welcome to the Clever Investor Show.
Thank you.
Nice you guys are a sexy couple here. I don't know which one's hotter. Joe, you're kind of turning me on a little bit too. I'm not going to lie. What's going on? Is it the muscles?
I'm feeling you too, Cody.
Yeah, it's the energy. It's a good energy.
Are you propositioning me to be in my next video?
Yeah, I'm trying to get... We're going to talk about everything. Can we just have a raw conversation about how you got started, how you blew up in there? So here's what's cool about you guys as like the dynamic duo. You're an amazing creator. Very popular. My video guys knew who you were. Very big fans. His whole paycheck, Squeak's whole paycheck goes to you. Do you know that?
Have you contributed to the Veronica Perasso Fund?
I'm just kidding. Squeak's a wholesome boy. He would never do that.
If you haven't, you should.
He would, yeah, no, he's totally supporting you. So you're a fantastic creator and you are like a marketing genius. And for a long time, you've been just killing it on the business scaling systems marketing side of things.
It means a lot coming from you. So
yeah, man, you're amazing. And so I'm really excited to kind of talk about how you were able to blow up the way you did. And not only you run a marketing agency. So just to give you some background, Veronica, you started off on Instagram and just putting out really cool content videos.
Yeah.
Lots of like fun, dancing videos, that kind of stuff.
That's
and then eventually you moved over to OnlyFans and started creating more adult content.
Yeah.
And then Joe, I got some of your stuff. So you are not only a phenomenal entrepreneur and marketer, but you are the founder of Fozzy Media Group, which handles marketing and media for influencers and other entertainment businesses.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I've been in entertainment 25 years.
Okay. What does that look like? Music business?
Yeah, it started in music. It's still in music. But inevitably, when you get into entertainment, there's crossover. So you end up working with athletes and models, influencers. Now, social media is media, right? So there's no social media. It's just media. Yeah. There's definite crossover at a certain level. So
now, are you the CMO for Hustler? Or how does that work? What's your connection?
No. We work with Penthouse pretty closely.
Penthouse.
Veronica was the cover model for Penthouse for November, and we went to their club and did their annual party, and she made a personal appearance, and so we work with the brand. We work with a lot of brands.
That's pretty crazy because of your growth and you got how many millions? You got like almost 5 million social media followers on IG.
Yeah, we're in 4.8.
No big deal. Just 4.8 million followers. I bet your engagement is crazy.
Good.
Yeah, she got 1.8 billion impressions last year in 2022. So,
damn.
And on OnlyFans, you mentioned 170 million people engaging on the platform. She brought in almost 10% of that just from the United States alone. So we had almost 17 million Americans on her OnlyFans in 2022.
You guys are making like $300,000 a month.
Yeah,
every month
the gross revenue exceeds that. So yeah.
So explain to me this process, because I do want to talk about what you're doing with your money, because that's the point of the show.
Yeah.
But I do find it very fascinating because, look, the recession is going to hit a lot of people hard.
Yeah.
People are looking for ways to make money from home. And there are so many creators on OnlyFans in so many different niches. And I want to open that up because there, believe it or not, are men on OnlyFans. And they, there's a few of them that you probably know, some celebrities that are doing really big things like, I don't know, Tyga, killing it on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Probably making more money on OnlyFans than anywhere else.
Yeah, Tyga, he started on OnlyFans. He's since left and gone to a similar platform. But there's quite a few big names. Tyler Posey, MTV's Teen Wolf.
And he's killing it?
Yeah, he's doing really well.
I've never been on OnlyFans. Let me just clarify. I've never been on OnlyFans. The world wants to know how I'm going to get a subscription to your OnlyFans account.
You're going to go on as a creator.
It's not really for me. It's for the video guys. I swear. It's not for me.
Thanks for a friend.
But I've never been on OnlyFans, so I don't know. I know there's all kinds of different creators and content. Some people niche out, and some people are more graphic and explicit. So how did you get started? Because you go from like killing it kind of in social, then what? During COVID, or right before the pandemic, you decided I'm going to try this out?
2019 is when I started, before everyone knew about OnlyFans like that or got popular. I was already creating content for OnlyFans.
Are you just popping up a camera and just coming up with some concept back then? I'm going back then to the beginning. Is it just you and a camera? Is he holding your camera for you?
I started myself. It was more like I would do it like a music video. I would play music and like act to the song, and like it will be like a sexy dancing, undressing, that kind of thing. That's how it started, and it was my love for music.
So I'm going to tell you an interesting story. So Veronica and I have been together since January 2017. And it was sometime in 2020, I had a bunch of brick and mortar businesses. I had gyms and restaurants and clubs and nutrition stores and a bunch of brick and mortar stuff. And everything shut down in March 2020. We all remember this. And like everyone else, I start playing the stock market. So I'm having these big days in the stock market, where I'm making 20 grand that day, 30 grand that day, 40 grand that day. And so I'm showing her the account. And so one of these days I'm like, look, baby, look, I made, X amount today. And she's like, yeah, I did that yesterday too. And I was like, what? What did you do yesterday? And she's showing me her account, and she had
20,000 day,
like a $20,000 day.
Yeah.
Right. And those days, it wasn't every day, but you would have those big days, especially then when the pandemic first happened and everyone went digital. It was a lot easier back then. 2020, any girl that was willing to get out there, promote herself, she could make money. Now it's much different. Here we are in 2023. It's, now there's 1.5 million creators, and back then there was like 100,000 girls, right? So dramatically different situation. But she showed me that, and that's when it was, okay, I need
Were you like, I'm done in the stock market for a moment? I need to pivot and figure out what
I definitely haven't stopped the stock market or any of my other investments, but it was enough to prompt me to focus on building infrastructure and procedures to managing creators that wanted to shift into the digital space. So I did. So now here we are. Now we've done this together for 3 years. And now, she's hitting this year. She's about to hit the 10 million mark on OnlyFans. And
damn.
So, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So, 300 grand a month from home. Is this a full-time job now for you at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I wake up and go to sleep. And all day I'm responding messages. I'm creating content. I'm trying to do content for Instagram, for TikTok, for OnlyFans. And it's a full-time job.
Yeah. So walk me through like how you think about creating content. Are you still dancing around sexy outfits? Kind of like, is that your thing that people know you for?
Yeah, definitely started for the dancing. I always start it's like a process for me. I have to get ready. So I have to start feeling some music, feeling excited, get my makeup done, build like a whole personality like you're feeling. And then, I started dancing. I started with Instagram is very soft content. It's for everybody. And I start building from there. Then I start doing a little more sexy for OnlyFans. And my days is just that. And answer all messages, engaging with the people.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's really good giving them the attention they're looking for. I know a lot of people feel really happy when they're talking to me. So I like to give them the time they deserve for supporting me.
Yeah. And so explain how it works. So like if I subscribe to your page, or I'm guessing that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
I subscribe to you. How many
Subscribe.
subscribers do you guys have?
30, almost 35,000
Yeah.
now. And
Okay.
the subscription price is $10 a month.
Wow. So you got this, and for $10 a month, that's like the beginning entry point. So for that, I'm now able to see your private content.
Yeah. What I post on the feed is a lot more sexy than Instagram. So you get that and you get to talk to me. And of course, I have a preference list where I prioritize the big spenders and super fans. I spend most of the time talking to them, and yeah. And then the rest is to
So
the
the
new
more
ones.
they spend, the more access they have to her.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody
Yeah, that makes
comes in
sense. I
and
mean,
somebody's tipping $3, I mean, you know, they're not exactly a priority. So
yeah, I get it. And so what am I getting as I move up? Like, let's say I become a super fan. Am I paying for custom content? Like you're going to shoot me a video saying, hey, Cody, Clever Investor, everybody should subscribe to his Clever Investor Show
Yeah,
podcast.
if you're a super fan, you
Give them
get
5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Tell me let's pretend I just sent you. How much money did I just send you?
well, to get in the super fan or VIP club, you're starting with 200 minimum. That doesn't get you anything.
I'm a big spender, Veronica. I'm a big spender. I just sent you $500.
he's got his own
I got a show.
Okay.
Okay, what would you send me back? You're
Yeah,
looking
definitely
sexy.
it.
You got the outfit on. Maybe you're on a motorcycle. You're doing something crazy.
You would make a request. What do
I
you want,
get to
Cody?
kind of say, hey, I want you in a golf
I'm
outfit.
into
I want
this.
sexy golf
Yes.
Veronica.
Yeah.
I
You
want
get-
you to spike the camera, and I want you to say everybody should go listen to the Clever Investor Show, and more importantly, give them a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Ready? Action, go.
Oh, you are asking me to act it right now.
Come on, I know how to get the most out of. I'm
I'm
trying
gonna
to
have to
get
step in.
5-star reviews over here,
As
Veronica.
Veronica's business manager, I'm going to have to ask you to pay first.
I gotta, yeah. See, you're a smart businessman. No.
And then
So, but
bring me
that's-
another shot.
That's how it works, all right. And then now I could buy your outfit.
Yes, exactly. So these VIP people can have the access to those things. Only them could buy those things. So
What's the wildest request that you were like, we're not even gonna do that,
um
or maybe you did do it? I don't know. What's
yeah,
like that?
I do
What's
have
the limit?
my own filters. I have a lot of things that I do not do or
I will say that I'm going to obviously let her finish, but OnlyFans has restricted the use of animals, fruits, and vegetables. So I will say that. So the wildest requests
Damn.
are ones that OnlyFans terms of service would disallow anyways.
Yeah.
So I
now I'll
couldn't
hand it
say I
back
want
over.
you riding around on a horse, juggling apples.
yeah, no that.
It's out.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
well,
public also
all my
out,
biggest
by the way.
fetishes are
Yeah,
done.
voyeur stuff totally out on the
Yeah.
platform.
Okay,
So,
well that makes
yeah.
sense.
And then anyone featured in the video needs to sign a release also. So there's
Okay.
also that, right?
So what's the wildest, craziest, coolest request, or is it all kind of pretty standard? Like, hey, just
Well, the most weird for me are the ones that are asking you to do number 2 in camera, that kind of thing. That is not allowed on the terms and services. But I think for me, that's kind of crazy.
We get quite a bit of that.
really,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
thing.
big.
Yeah.
That's gross.
But
they're
I
like-
do like it. Is my favorite, and I do it a lot, honestly, is farting.
Farting?
Yeah. They do like when I record myself
Wait,
farting.
Yeah, and she acknowledges that request.
Wait,
Yeah.
this is shocking.
Yeah. They do like the sound. I don't know what they like, but I personally like to fart because I'm not going to exploit
She
my
eats a lot of
own
arepas.
intestines, and
A lot of
I do like
empanadas.
food. So it's normal and natural. And
I'm actually blushing a little bit. I did not expect that you would be like, man, I'm a big fan
and
of
they're
farting
all
on
they're all
video."
requesting like bottle it. I want, and I'm like, if you guys actually knew what this smelled like, you wouldn't be requesting. I have to actually.
What does
live
it cost for me to get a Veronica Perasso fart in a bottle? What? Come on. I'm going to get this for Squeak for Christmas.
$50 for the sound.
That's it. How do I know you don't have like a fart machine in your pocket?
Trust me, there's
No,
there's
they have
fart
to be
machine.
real, yeah.
She is the fart machine. That's real. Yeah, that's real.
That's some solid. Now I know how I'm going to blow up my OnlyFans.
She actually has a talent. This is a real talent. Yeah.
That's a thing. Are you into that?
No, I gotta smell it. I gotta actually live it. No, I'm not into it.
For $300,000 a month, I'm farting all over the microphone. Let's go.
Cody, we can make this happen.
Are there guys like what first off, what does the top creators make per year?
The top creators make over $100 million a year.
Damn. And
Cardi
these
B
are
makes $9
celebrities?
million a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardi B's
$9
doing $9
million
million
a month?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm working my ass off. I'm working too hard.
Yeah. There's
That's
a lot of
crazy.
music crossover, believe it or not. The gentleman I mentioned earlier, Tyler Posey, also is in a band. He was an actor, now he's transitioned into full-time music. So it seems like, and we've had a lot of requests, I'm not gonna name names, but of mainstream musicians we all know propositioning us to partner with us on this. Seems like the music OnlyFans integration is pretty prevalent. I mean, Cardi B, obviously being a big name, Black China, Bad Baby also does music.
Yeah.
These are big.
So who's the
creators.
number one creator on the platform?
Black China.
And she makes over 100 million.
I believe she made over 200 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. These are real numbers. This
And
is real
the
business.
men, what do you think the top guys are making?
Probably what she makes. I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know that there's any men making more than 300 grand a month.
Now, is there client? I mean, I would, I know the stats because I have them in front of me.
Yeah.
But majority of people on the platform are male. So like
Yeah.
if I'm a
Yeah.
guy on OnlyFans, can I not do any sexually explicit content and blow up? Or is that more like just if you're a hardcore
could.
celebrity or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think to do non-explicit content and make these kind of numbers, you have to be a celebrity. Yeah, the amount of marketing
sense.
dollars that go into this, even at her level, it's big. I mean, this is a real business. This is a real industry. This is not everybody thinks that, you're a sexy girl and you create an OnlyFans and I'm rich, and it's absolutely not like that. The average creator makes
It says right here, the average creator, let's just read some things. In total, OnlyFans pays out over $5 billion to its content creators each year. That's mainly due to high engagement rate on the platform. For example, 60% of a creator's audience sees and interacts with each new post, making the average earning on OnlyFans more exciting than ever before. 82.4% of content creators charge under $20 per month. Almost 2/3 of all creators charge between $5 and $15. What else here? The average creator earns a reported $180 a month.
that sounds right.
So it's like they're not, like for the majority of creators, they're not scaling this thing. They're just
Correct.
making a few
Yeah.
hundred extra
It's
bucks.
like every other business model, right? I mean, you go into any business model that's online, any e-commerce model, right? You're going to have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that try, but to be a 0.01 creator, there's real,
And I want to
business
open that
sense.
up. I want to talk about how you guys scaled.
yeah.
It says OnlyFans is primarily female creators with the male audience members. There are many male creators and female subscribers on OnlyFans, but nonetheless, it's clear that female creators have a greater success rate with the 69% to 31% male to female split on OnlyFans.
Yeah, and I can explain that. A lot of male subscribers have repositioned themselves on OnlyFans as creators as well. So now you've got men that initially signed up to subscribe, and now these guys are creating content to try and become
Got it. So
creators
but they're probably
themselves.
looking for like a more like gay audience.
correct.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah. So who's buying that content, right? I mean, single straight females are not buying. They can get dick pics for free anytime they want, right?
Yeah,
Let's be
yeah.
honest. So
Wow. The average subscription age is 35 to 44 because it's an older demographic. You're able to make a lot more money on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these are pretty shocking. I never really dug into. We were doing research before this episode. I was like, wow, I didn't know all this stuff. Huge with millennials and Gen Z audiences.
Yeah.
Millennials
Yeah.
spend the most for sure.
OnlyFans audience grew by 500% during the pandemic. That's insane. The top 1% of creators earn 33% of all the revenue on the platform.
There you go. Yeah,
That's it. Wow.
that's right. That's why she's.
So how did you scale?
Oh man. Well,
First off, how often do you put out content? Every day?
I try to make content for every day. I would say like I dedicate one day that I try to do the most.
Like create multiple pieces of content
Yeah.
in a day?
Yeah, like I have these things are called pay-per-view. So they're like some kind of like sorts of movie. And the minimum time is 7 minutes of a whole movie. Or you can go, 15, and I try to have a new one for every day. So I will decide if I want to do it daily or once a week.
Are you guys sitting around like whiteboarding out like, hey, we're going to do these themes and this concept, and
it's both.
or is it just on the fly?
Yeah.
This is what I feel today. I'm just going to roll.
It's
Kind of
both.
that.
Yeah, it's both. We definitely have the spontaneous moments for sure. Let me also say it's easy to be a good marketer when you have this as a client and a product, right? So there is some thought that goes into it, like you would manage any other business, but then there's a creative aspect to it that can't be whiteboarded. So sometimes, she just looks a certain way, or she'll dress up a certain way, and it's like, oh my God, we need this content right now. You look hot today, So I think it's probably a 50-50 split between spontaneity and planned.
So before he jumped in and was like, we're going to build a real business around this, the light bulb went off in his head.
Yeah.
How did you scale to even 20 grand? Because that seems like insane. Was it just right timing, or did non-OnlyFans videos go viral on like
Yeah.
IG or something,
Yeah.
and then it drove
So
traffic back to
It started
OnlyFans?
getting viral on TikTok. I started getting like all kinds of, like I did a video in Walmart, and I was picking up some cucumbers, and I was being recorded, but we did not realize that someone in the background was like drawing.
Yeah, it's a great video. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it.
This person
It's a
was
great
like
video.
nervous, making movement with his hands, and his wife and kid was there.
And what
but
are you doing? Are you like twerking with some cucumbers or something?
I'm just picking the cucumber
She was
in my
actually
hand.
picking out food.
I wasn't moving.
It
I
wasn't
was just
intentional.
holding a cucumber, and this person was
He's licking his lips and like
Yeah.
touching his cart weird
He's
with his
like-
kid in the cart.
yeah.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And his
yeah.
wife is like, and she's just holding a cucumber, like looking at it to see if it's the
Is
right
this
size.
ripe? Is this? I'm not sure if
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
right.
Wasn't
So
intending to be
that
sexual.
went viral, and I think the first got like 20 million views. And of course, I have my Instagram. People went for Instagram, and Instagram I have my OnlyFans, and he did a whole funnel, and they just wanted me to do a video with a cucumber. So before OnlyFans had all these new terms of
Service, yeah.
yeah. Then I did a video with a cucumber, and I was having 20,000 days for the
Wow.
cucumber.
All from a cucumber.
Yeah.
Next week, you're going to see me on IG picking out cucumbers, and I'm going to lose subscribers. This is jacked up.
You look like you need an eggplant.
I need to go big. Yeah, well, that's amazing. And I know some of your organic, non-graphic content did go viral
Yeah.
because you put it to music, which I
Yeah.
think is really smart. you
Even
know.
before thinking or knowing that was an OnlyFans, I mean, he knows me. Like I always been like, I like doing videos, I like taking photos, and I will play music, and you see me dancing all over the house. And I enjoy make those videos over and over and over to make sure I was dancing it right. And every time a new artist will like launch a new song, I will play that song that they're interested, and I will tag them and I'll repost them.
So I'm making this up. Like 50 Cent would drop a song. Next thing you know, you're dancing to a 50 Cent song.
Yeah.
You tag him.
Yeah.
He picks up on it. He reposts it. Boom. Now you're going
Yeah.
viral.
Now I have new followers that love me because I'm dancing.
Yeah.
And I kept doing that. So I had a lot of followers for no reason. And 2019, I just like, what am I doing? I need to monetize on these people. And I for some time I promoted people, businesses and all that. That was paying good. Um, but then I just wanted to go big, and I started
Like people
with
were
Only.
paying you for shout outs and stuff like
Yes.
that. Just
Yeah,
'cause-
like a meal prep company will send me food, so I was already not
take
spending.
pictures with our meal prep
Yeah.
stuff.
So
we
I was
can-
like not even spending money on groceries, and I had free food, promoting them, and they will pay me too. And that's how I started
I
thinking.
mean, I'll give you the numbers. So in 2019, she made 60,000,
yeah,
and in 2020, so we picked it up as a business in
Yeah.
May of 2020, and in 2020 we made 1.6 million, and so 50,000 to 1.6 million,
Yeah.
right? And that's net. Then 2021, then you're, and at that point it's been where it is now. So now we're at 10 million.
So walk me through from your business mind and your marketing mind. And guys, when I say Joe's a fantastic marketer, I mean, he really understands scaling and generating lots of social traffic, lots of leads through marketing. You've done it for artists. You've done it now. You actually ran like an agency model for a while, and you blew up other girls and products and entertainers. So how did you attack this?
Well, the first thing was creating the brand, right? You've got a person, but that person has to become a brand. So we changed her name to the name that everyone now knows her as, right? She became Veronica Perasso. And then we started modeling her brand around the demographic that would engage with her the most. And I knew early on that dancing was her thing. I mean, she was getting organically reposted for dancing. So it was like, okay, here we go. We got to put you in music videos. And so she did a Joyner Lucas and Lil Baby video called Ramen and OJ. We did a Mikey Woods video recently. We've danced to other songs that people have reposted. Mia Khalifa reposted her. I mean, we've had so many people just repost her. 50 Cent actually used 50 Cent as an example. 50 Cent has posted her on his page, not because we paid for it, but organically. So it was really that. It was just building the persona that is Veronica Perasso around organic talents that she has, and then creating the whole foundational structural machine behind it to optimize all these leads, all these impressions we're getting. How do we optimize it, right? Where's the paywall? How do we push them through it? It's been intense.
Because I'm imagining you probably get an insane amount of messages.
1.8 billion impressions last year, and she gets more than a message a minute on her OnlyFans. So,
and I know you love interacting with your fans, but how in the heck are you guys able to keep up with it? Do you sleep?
Do
you vacation?
I don't
very
sleep.
little. But yeah, that's why I have to prioritize who I respond the most. It have to be who spends the most. I cannot respond to every single little thing or normal conversations without, tips or something like.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do have a lot of people that want attention for free, right?
Yeah.
So you can't give everyone your attention.
Yeah.
So, like scaling this business, you're now blowing it up. You're creating all this content. I love that you guys are doing it together. That's super fun. What's the end game?
Well,
how do you get out? Do you sell this business? Is this a sellable business?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned a brand.
Yeah. So we built the Veronica Perasso brand. We have the intellectual property to Veronica Perasso. We own 100% of all the content that we've created. We own the name. We've had offers, confidentially. I can't say who, obviously, but we've had multi-million-dollar offers to buy the Veronica Perasso brand, right? Her brand generates over $3 million a year.
So it's a business.
And it's a cash flowing, machine at this point because it's subscription.
What is it? So I know OnlyFans takes what, 20%?
They do. Yeah.
So off the top of the 300K, 20%. So that leaves you with like 250, 240, to something.
Yeah.
Is there any other expenses like marketing expenses, ad expense? Like what else comes out of that?
Of course. Yeah. We have real expenses like any other business. We try to keep it fresh because we genuinely care. So she's got, wardrobe expenses and makeup and nails and health expenses. And there is marketing expenses. Anybody that wants to come in, so I'm going to be an OnlyFans creator and I'm going to make tons of money, not accounting for
sustainable.
the amount of money you have to spend in marketing. I think a creator trying to take this on themselves without help is in for a lot more than they bargained for or thought. And I've come across a lot of people, nurses and hairdressers and people that have a career and think they're going to do OnlyFans as a side hustle. And it absolutely doesn't work like that, because you need a whole staff. You need people taking content. You need people helping you with the messages, filtering them. She's answering the messages, but someone has to filter that. Someone has to say, these are the ones that are important.
Yeah, like here's your queue of custom content
Correct.
I need you to create right now.
You need assistants. You need virtual assistants. You need people prioritizing that for you. You need people to help you with fresh ideas. You need people to help the marketing component. So thank goodness I understand that space. I come across creators, even big creators, who can't figure it out, right? They're out there. They're putting themselves out there. They're marketing that they have this as an option, but they don't know how to get people across the paywall. They don't know how to actually engage them into a conversation that equates to them making money on it, right? So the marketing component's huge. I mean, you got to constantly have fresh content. You got to constantly put it all over the place. And then when you find out what works, you got to double down, triple down, quadruple down on that style marketing, right?
So you've actually taken other women and that were making a few $100 and scaled them significantly. And so give me an example of like one of those people and what did you do for them?
So as you can imagine, she's a great funnel. People come to her all the time asking her, who is your manager? Who's doing this? Are you with an agency, right? So her DMs are flooded. If it's not people trying to hit on her, it's people asking her to help them, right? So we've considered creating courses or something to help people do this, because so many people ask us, how do you do this? So recently, a girl that came through her DMs that she had, just some casual conversation turned into more of a business relationship. And we decided to take this person on. And this person was doing a very similar situation with their partner, where their boyfriend was helping them, right? Which I see a lot. It's their boyfriend, their husband, right? And their revenue dropped to $800 a month. So at their peak, they were doing about $4,000 a month, and it dropped to $800.
What would cause it to drop like that?
Well, so if you're not constantly bringing new people in, people see your content, they consume all of it. It's like Netflix, right? Attention spans are shorter. People are consuming more content. Constant.
Because I see a lot of people on Instagram, like they share each other. There's like this huge network of beautiful women sharing each other's accounts. Is that just to keep the fresh
That's it.
eyeballs coming in?
That's it. Yeah. You need new eyeballs constantly coming in, because anyone that's going to pay for this type of content is probably somebody that's spending a lot of time on their computer. Maybe they don't have access to, or their phone.
Yeah.
So they're going to consume more content than, say, your casual adult, consumer. Maybe some guy works all day and he goes home and he handles his business and that's it, right? There's tons of free porn out there. But these are people that are replacing that need digitally with someone. They're building a virtual relationship, in essence. They're replacing the need for a girlfriend with this online character, right? And so to accommodate these people, you have to make yourself, one, available from a time perspective, but two, you got to have a ton of content. This isn't just a casual jerk, right? This is a relationship. What happens all too often are these, and I just say girls because they're predominantly the type of creator on OnlyFans. These girls go in thinking, I'm going to take a couple nude photos and I'm going to make tens of thousands of dollars, right? Because I have 30, 40, 100,000 followers on Instagram. And to them, that's a large number of people. But of those 100,000, how many of them are going to go across the paywall? And then of the ones that get across the paywall, how are you going to keep them engaged, right? So they do a couple photo shoots and they put their content out there. And maybe month one, because they finally announced that they have an OnlyFans, they make a couple grand. But it's always it goes downhill from there. It just drops off a cliff.
So now
right?
she's making 800. She comes to you, says, hey, scale me back up. What'd you do for her?
Right. So the first thing that needs to be done is a rebranding. And after they've rebranded themselves, then they need to create enough content to hold over the guys that come in from all these marketing efforts, right? So if I know that I'm going to do a really aggressive marketing, I'm anticipating thousands of new eyeballs, right? And some of these guys are going to want to consume content on a daily basis. So I already know that going into it.
So one of the first steps is listen, you're going to create this mountain of
You need a-
content
Yeah.
and we're going to get it out to like our VAs are going to edit it or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it prepared in this bucket. So that way we can just constantly be ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there's two types of consumers. There's the consumers that want the personal touch, and then there's consumers that just want content. You're their dream girl on Instagram and they just want to consume content of their dream girl, right? But there's a whole bunch of other guys that really want to develop that virtual relationship. And those are the guys that are going to spend the money to get a personalized video saying their name. Or they're saying, I want you in this kind of outfit doing, okay, that's somebody that's taking this more personal and they're going to consume every piece of content you have in your vault within a week. And then now it's new content specifically catered
That
to.
makes sense.
But that's your high ticket customer. This is high ticket, low ticket. This is every marketing, right?
So you rebrand, you make a mountain of
Tons of
content, and then how do you start to scale this person?
You got to get them out across all social platforms on pages they haven't been on before. Now it's an eyeball game.
And are you paying for this? This
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
is like, hey,
Everything
we're
is
going to invest
fixed.
money
This is
into
cost
this.
intensive. Yeah. Every time I partner with somebody, this is an investment.
Yeah.
It's a new
Who's putting up the
business.
money?
Me.
And how much do you take once you scale this person?
Every relationship is 50-50 at a minimum because I take all the risk and I'm
Got
the
it.
one spending the money.
So I'm making
right?
$800. I hire you. You say, look, I'm going to take you on because I think you have the core ingredients
Correct.
to scale.
Yeah.
And by the way, just what's the end result of that $800 customer or client? Where's she at now?
This is a 28-day month and she's going to do close to 40,000 this month. So she's doing well over 1,000 a day.
Yeah, damn.
She was 800
that's
a
good.
month and we're having,
For a business at
$1,500
home.
days.
Yeah, for a
Right.
business at home to go
Yeah.
from $800 to
Yeah.
Right.
40, 50K in a
Correct.
month is phenomenal.
Correct.
And-
And she's getting half, right? So if we're going to finish the month somewhere between 38 and 40,000. What is she going to get? A $19,000, $20,000 check? She was making $800 a month. So
And out of your side, you get reimbursed your marketing expense, or do you take that off the top before you split?
no, so I'm pretty generous. You know, there's other, I don't call myself a manager. I'm not managing these clients, right? I don't like the connotation of manager because that insinuates so many other things, right? Now their association of managers, I'm now your therapist and I'm your accountant and I'm your lawyer and I'm every role. And when you have a bad day, you're going to text me about it, right? So at one point, that was maybe a title that I embraced, and now it's not manager. It's just, this is a servicing relationship. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and
Your marketing.
that's it, right? And so now this is pretty generous. A lot of agencies take somewhere between 70 and 90% of the total cost, which of the net usually puts them in the 50 to 60% net range. I'm taking 50% and I'm paying all the expenses. So if my expenses add up to 40% of the gross revenue, which is, in
Yeah.
e-commerce, 40% gross, I mean, you're 60% net. That's a great business. If you can profit 60% of every dollar,
Mhm.
it's a phenomenal business. So by me saying 50-50, that's of the gross. So I'm only making net. My net is maybe
Yeah.
10, if I'm lucky, 15% of the account. So
And
it's
how
not-
many girls are you doing this for?
so I'm the back end for a lot of agencies. So agencies are kind of white label. When you hear of agencies, they're really just the recruiters. So they're out there recruiting
you're
girls,
fulfilling.
but I'm the back end.
And you're helping
That's why I can do it.
network them on TikTok, Snapchat, IG,
It's all of
getting
it.
all these
Yeah,
eyeballs.
It's everything. It's 360 degrees. And so it's more a volume play, right?
Yeah.
That's why I can do it at what I'm doing, because there's someone else on the front end and they're the ones personally dealing with the models and they're the ones getting the late phone calls about their boyfriend or their...
How has this affected your guys' sex life? Like, has this promoted more intimacy or is this taken away from it? And I'm genuinely curious about this because, I mean, you guys are running a pretty big business at scale. You got to be tired. So many of our listeners reach out and they ask us how they can get involved in my actual real estate deals. We got a lot going on here right now, from developing and owning multifamily to developing new subdivisions to assisted living facilities, storage facilities, mobile home parks. Our investment firm specializes in finding deeply discounted properties, acquiring them, sometimes knocking them down and building from the ground up, renovating, stabilizing both single family and multifamily properties all over the United States. That's why we're so excited to share with you clevercapitalfund.com. Now, if you have some investment capital, lazy money laying around, and you want to deploy it and receive double-digit returns backed by real estate, then visit our website and see which fund is right for you. We have both equity funds where you can participate in the upside, and we have like debt funds where you just get paid out every month like clockwork. All you got to do is visit www.clevercapitalfund.com today to learn more.
Yeah, I think the answer is probably going to be different for both of us. I'll speak first and let her speak. For me, it's brought us closer.
Yeah.
Because you can, I don't want to speak for every guy in the room, but you're a good looking guy. I know you've been married. I was married. At some point, 40s, we're probably looking for something that we either didn't get. This is midlife crisis age, right? So for me, I could be out there just hoeing off and banging a bunch of girls, but instead I get to live that fantasy with my wife. So for me, this is intimate because one day she gets to be this character and tomorrow she's a different character and I get to be the photographer and and she's super hot and younger. And so I'm getting to fulfill everything I need within my marriage. I'm 42.
How old are you, Veronica?
24.
Damn.
And we've been together 6 years, so do the math.
Joe,
yeah,
you must be hung like this big. You must be blessed. Is that an accurate statement?
70% larger than the average male. Yeah.
Just hung like a horse.
Yeah.
I love it. How tall are you?
This microphone, this doesn't quite cover it, but yeah.
Get out of here.
5'6".
I'm hung like it's cold outside.
You're white. I'm sorry.
I'm Jewish and white.
No,
man.
So for me, the sex life.
I'm joking
I
about
think
that, by the way.
I know you got big dick
Don't
energy for
cancel
sure.
him,
I'm
please.
44% larger than the average cold white Jewish guy.
But you're tall and you got blue eyes, so you'll be fine.
That's it.
You got money, so you'll really be fine.
I lead with that.
Yeah. Hi, I'm rich. So I think for me, I get to do everything that I would want to do with my partner. It hasn't hurt my personal sex life at all. I know for her, and I'll let her speak for herself, but there's a work component that physically exhausts her.
Yeah, definitely. I feel very close to him because of this. I get to explore my sexual life with my life partner, and that's amazing. Like I get to feel free with him, and I'm not hiding anything, and he's my best friend. So that's my favorite part. But my physical body sometimes needs a break because keeping up with fulfilling fantasies and at the same time fulfilling my own with my partner sometimes is a lot for my body. Even that I enjoy mentally. I'm happy making happy my husband, and it feels great to knowing that a lot of people enjoy what they see. Of course, sometimes my body is like, enough.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Especially when you're hung like me. Sorry.
That's it. She can only take so much. I like it. Well,
hardworking woman here.
Is there another level? Like, I mean, can you grow it to 400K a month, 500K a month, 700K a month? Like, can you get there? Or are you guys kind of just floating at this number?
No. We definitely could. I mean, we're so balanced right now that we kind of know what the numbers are before the month is even over. We're kind of like this. I mean, we're up year after year every year because of minor tweaks, but in 2021, we made the commitment to each other that we were going to focus on balance. And though we could scale it double what we're doing now, we made it a priority to spend more time with each other and more time as just people. And, it's hard. There was a point in our marriage where I'm viewing my wife as an employee. And she's doing the same because we're partners. So
Yeah.
if I'm the manager, I also work for her, right? So we've had so many different just role reversals throughout this 3-year journey where it's like sometimes she's looking at me like an employee, and sometimes I'm looking at her like an employee, and we're holding each other accountable from a business perspective, but not holding ourselves accountable from a marriage perspective. Like I still need to put her feelings first, and vice versa, because burnout really does happen.
Yeah.
So now we're at a point, now it's 2023, and I think scaling the business financially is less important than managing our personal lives. And so now we found that comfort zone, and now
Yeah, we're still
overall it's
growing,
better.
but our personal life is a lot better. Is that balance that we know when we have to work and when it's time to take care of each other.
I love that. That's
and
good.
I
That's
still have my
important.
companies right outside of this.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing everything that I was always doing. I haven't stopped at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you even have an interest in a recording studio.
Recording studio, Salt My Studio. So we have a show coming out, Studio Stars, and
Is that like going to be on Netflix or one of those type of streaming
absolutely,
channels?
we have options for sure. So Netflix is obviously the choice network, and that's ultimately where we're probably going to go. But we have interest in many other distributors for our content. So.
And they're just following you kind of behind the scenes, huh?
Yeah,
A little behind the scenes action.
Ben,
We're actually being
Ben.
recorded right now for this pretend. Hey, just get me on, man. Just get me on. Clever Investor Show. Come on, get me on.
Yeah. So the music, like I said, I've been doing music 25 years. I'm not going to stop. I also was the lead investor in Angel and in an app called Tully, and so we
What is it?
Tully, Tully.
What does that do?
Tully, you can write, record, distribute your music all from one platform. We've had 700,000 downloads. Sony is our partner, so we.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's a big deal as well.
And I know you've done stuff with some pretty major recording artists.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who was your favorite artist to work with?
Joyner Lucas, who Ben also has worked with, I think is, Joyner's a personal friend, business partner. I think he's incredibly talented. I would have to put Joyner at the top of the list, but we work with so many cool people, man. I mean, Kodak Black was just, who will also be in the show, by the way, Studio Stars. Kodak Black just spent a couple days with us, and
Dude, he is so entertaining.
he's so energetic.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's different. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
He's just like, you're trying to, I have a hard time understanding what he's saying, so I have to really listen hard, but he's so entertaining.
He's unapologetically him, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, not to name drop, but we certainly have accommodated many A-listers over the years, and the Rolodex is pretty deep. So
That's cool.
Yeah, so I get to stay in entertainment, do the things that I really love and enjoy, and just being a marketer, you get to empower other people and bring out their potential. So
Well, let's talk money.
let's talk money.
What are you guys doing with all this insane amount of money you guys are generating? I mean, you investing, you balling out? Like, what are you doing?
So I made my first million in my 20s, and I'm 42 now. So this
ain't nothing new.
This is normal. Yeah.
This is
But
normal life for him.
his normal life. But it's been really exciting, empowering Veronica and watching her go through those steps of going, not to put her life on a open platform too much. But Veronica came here at 18 years old.
Here, from Venezuela.
With
Yeah.
with $100. She had nothing. Okay. I mean, literally nothing. Spoke very little English, if any. No career, no safety net. No, I mean, her mom sold jewelry to get her on a plane, to get her here, that situation. And I met her right when she got here. So we were already communicating. I was expecting her to come here, and I came down to Florida as soon as she got here, and that was it. I told her on the second day that we ever met, I was like, I'm going to marry you.
No way.
Yeah.
You just knew.
True story. Yeah. I knew that before I think she got here. I just needed validated
Yeah.
when I saw her. But one day we were sitting on a bench in downtown Miami. This must have been 2018, I don't know, so 17, 18, 17. And I was asking her what she wanted in life. It was one of those, if you could have anything, what would you have? And she was like, Rolls Royce. And I was like, okay, you're not quite there yet. We're not
Hey,
we're not on.
It's a good goal.
Yeah.
But I thought he was asking me like, work wise. Like I didn't know like he was going like, in life, like it's emotional and like all that. So I was just like, well, if I could have a Rolls Royce.
Yeah. So I knew at that moment, maybe she's not quite.
I wanted a
wifey
Lambo
material.
and a Rolls. I had 2 posters. Actually, I had 3 posters as a kid. You want to know what they were?
What?
Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, MC Hammer.
We were just talking about MC Hammer.
I don't know why the MC Hammer thing was in my room, but I had it my whole childhood.
MC Hammer, if you hear this, reach out to me. I want to talk to you. I really want to work with MC Hammer, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if he reaches out because of this show, I want a broker fee. I want a free OnlyFans
Absolutely.
account.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
What's the username?
I'm going to get MC Hammer
for
twerking
Squeak's
next,
benefit. What's the username and password?
Yeah. So I think, the money, how do we spend the money? She did get a Rolls Royce,
You did?
Cut to the chase.
How good did that
She has
feel?
a 2023 Cullinan.
Scary, but good. Yeah.
So, like, are you guys rolling up, paying cash? You leasing it? What do you-
No
No,
cash.
Damn.
She bought.
That's got to be a good
She bought a
feeling.
$500,000 car cash. So that.
Hey, that's huge.
Yeah. And I mean,
What is it? Describe it to me. What does it look like?
Well, it's gray in the outside. And it's blue like water in the inside with white piano and some black some
Yeah, it's
parts.
got the.
Do you just feel
entertainment
like
package.
$1 million floating around town in that thing?
It's like my dream boat because I love boats. So it's like the inside looks like water and
Yeah.
it drives like a boat.
Yeah.
And I feel safe because it's huge. I love it.
I bought a Rolls Royce myself. My first luxury car was a all murdered out black Ghost, Mansouri
Nice.
Ghost with
Woo.
white interior and 24-inch Forgiatos. I'm just this
Good.
little white guy mobbing down,
Yep.
listening to rap music.
Yeah.
And
That's
it is
great.
like driving a couch down the street. It's
yeah,
really
exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
Great
That's-
experience. You know what was a better experience for me?
What?
I gave the car away
Wow.
to my number 1 sales guy. We had a great month.
Wow.
Made about $1.3 million that month. And he had always loved the car. And I was like, you know what? You love the car more than me. I was ready for something else. And I just handed him the keys.
You're
and
better than me. I can't
that
do
was
that.
it.
Now we know that you have a big dick.
Yeah.
That's big dick energy.
That
right
is some
there.
B-
to
BDE.
give away. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Give away a
actually a
Rolls-Royce,
better
that's-
feeling
Yeah.
to give it away than it was to buy it. I'm more of a sports car guy anyway, but
Yeah.
I think that's such a great feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you. It's good to come from nothing to achieve one of your dreams like that. What you buy all the luxury stuff.
We've done it all. We got the
Yeah,
multi-million dollar house.
even
We got
before
yeah.
the dream car, we started with our dream house, like the start where we're gonna build our nest, like our base foundation together, and then we start getting all these cool cars, land, houses.
Yeah, we really
Yeah.
don't live, I don't want to create this image that we're super lavish, bougie. We have nice stuff, don't get me wrong, but we spend most of our time at home, family oriented. Her mom lives with us. We invest most of our money.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it because that's the point of this show.
Yeah.
I
Good
wanted
point.
to.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about alternative ways of making money, but let's talk about how to invest it, and let's talk about how you guys collaborate on like, hey, we're gonna go buy this real estate, we're gonna buy this land.
Everything we do is together. We're we're partners in every sense. There's no, Joey is doing this and Veronica is doing this, and no, absolutely not. It was important to me that she got her dream car because that was something she told me she wanted, and I kind of, made that a priority of mine to get that for her because I love my wife and I want her to be happy. But outside of that, and maybe a few other, lavish objects we've acquired over the years, it really is focused on just safety, security, passive
Future.
income, future. It's always
Yeah.
a future mindset,
Yeah.
always. So we've acquired quite a bit of real estate,
Mhm.
both
That-
land,
love that.
buildings, homes.
We got to get you into
yeah.
some of our projects, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would love to have you on some of our multifamily. Like we're burning the boats right now. Like I've made tremendous amount of money in single family. And if I would have put that same amount of energy to more multifamily, I would have been 10 times further ahead. And so we just made a decision, 2023,
Yep.
Winergy energy. And we're gonna go for some big dog project. And I've bought a lot of multifamily in the past and we flipped it and renovated it and did all that stuff. But I just want to acquire and keep.
Yep.
acquire and keep. And so if we get a big deal, can I float it by you guys? You guys look like two really sexy private lenders to me.
We'll promote
That's the vibe
it too.
I'm getting from
then
you.
you get the marketing.
BDE
Yeah.
from me, private money energy from you guys.
Huh?
Yeah.
I like it.
That's
do it.
interesting.
Yeah. I don't
BIE, big investor energy.
Oh,
imagine her promoting the building when it's finished.
Oh,
front, you know.
My God. Can you just
Can we film
softly
a few
say in the
scenes?
microphone, give Clever Investor a 5-star review?
okay. Clever investor, 5 stars with you.
Review.
Uh-huh.
Say it.
That was inspiring.
We almost we almost had it. Hey,
Yeah,
look,
almost.
I haven't paid you yet, so
That's
that's
good.
what you get when you
She'll
don't
get
pay.
the
That's
line
what she
right once
gets.
you pay. Yeah.
When you pay, I repeat it off camera.
Yeah.
And then I look in the mirror. And then when I have it right, I send it.
She'll do
Oh, I love
she'll
it.
do a
You
custom
practice.
video.
Practice makes perfect.
Custom video.
You know, my mentor used to always say, you never rise to the occasion. You always fall to your highest level of preparation. I like how you're getting prepared before you turn it on. Yeah. All right. So yeah, multifamily, would love to have you involved in some of that. We're also doing a lot more with like land leases
Mm-hmm.
and
Love
triple net
land
leases
leases.
and kind of stuff like that. And I know you guys buy a lot of businesses too and like invest in different clubs and
Yeah, clubs, gentlemen's clubs specifically. I spent years doing that. So maybe that helped with the OnlyFans stuff. You know, I've been in the adult space for a while, so this wasn't new to me. I understand the model very, very well.
is it hard to own a strip club?
I think, you know, it's not for everybody. I think if you go into it with the mindset that I'm going to buy my own personal playhouse, I think it's the wrong business to be in. You have to treat it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't get high on your own supply, right?
Yeah.
So for the
That's
guys,
why I wasn't a good drug dealer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I
Right.
smoked all the weed.
Right. Yeah.
It was a mess.
Horrible business
Or I
model.
gave it out.
Yeah, if you're a
So
sex
stupid.
addict,
It's
don't buy
bad.
a
It's
strip club. Yeah.
I said this on another podcast. I flew to Kansas, Greensburg, Kansas, with a book of acid one time. If the FAA is listening or anybody, this is a fake made up story.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically, yeah, this is all just a dream
Out
I
of the
had.
book.
It's a dream I had
Yeah.
one time. And I gave all the acid away. I don't
Wow.
think I sold a single hit. Can you get in trouble
You're
if you just give
making
it away?
friends? Yeah,
I don't think you can.
know.
I don't.
You
I
weren't
think,
actually selling drugs.
I think in my dream, I just gave all my drugs
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But the whole town had a great time. Yeah.
You brought the party.
And I just remember, I don't remember much, but I do remember a goat. I was standing out on the street. It was dusk, and a goat was walking across the street. And there was one stoplight in this entire town, and the goat was waiting for the red light to turn green. It was the wildest thing I
You were
had ever seen.
definitely high.
I was definitely.
Yeah.
What a crazy dream.
The good news is I never got caught or in trouble in my dream.
So I would say there is, when you talk about investments, I think there's a lot of different ways you can invest. I'm extremely interested in intellectual property right now. And I think specifically music catalogs. I have an artist, Velvet Cash, who's just blowing up. I think he has all the potential in the world.
Is this a rap artist? Velvet Cash?
You
Is
know,
this
there's nothing
alternative?
he can't do. So he's actually my partner and cast member on Studio Stars. So he's the son of Don Salter, who founded the salt mine.
Okay.
But Paul Oakenfold is our partner. You know, if that says anything,
That's huge.
Paul saw Velvet Cash, and Paul and I co-manage Zach.
What is the music? What type of music?
He makes EDM music because of the affiliation with Paul. But when I say he can do anything, I mean he can do anything. He has a song with G-Eazy. He has songs with Iman Beck. He has songs with Rick Ross. I mean, he's
I'm going to
just
look him up now. Yeah.
phenomenal. Velvet Cash.
So if I go to Apple Music, I can pull up his
He's there, yeah.
right,
Spotify, Apple. But I like investing in those types of projects because music lives forever, right? So you
So
create
you
this
actually
catalog.
own the rights to the songs themselves?
Yeah, Velvet
So
and
when
I
you
are
license those
partners
out
on
or
his
people play them,
catalog.
you get paid.
Correct. Yeah. And you get paid for streaming revenue. So, you know, a different model in OnlyFans, someone has to pay her. Whereas on Spotify, YouTube, the streams, you're getting paid. So the platform is paying you to put your content on their platform,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then your only job is to market it. You need more streams. So if I push people to the music and it becomes this virtuous cycle of the more people that hear
which
it,
there's
then they
not
want
a
to see
ton
you
difference
perform.
between blowing up and girl on OnlyFans,
Yeah.
blowing up an artist.
He's just a marketing.
Yeah, my business
genius.
model is the same, right? It's the same thing every day. It's make people famous or keep them famous, right? That's what I get to focus on. So,
So you just have this huge network of like IG pages and different pages on TikTok, I'm guessing, and creators and stuff. And
Yeah,
you're like,
just a
hey
network.
guys, I'm going to throw you some money. Here's the thing that we're going to push.
Yeah,
And they
he
create
will know
content
exactly where to place it. Like if your thing is like music, he will know all the pages for music. If it's a girl and the girl's niche in fee, then he will know where to place it.
Yeah.
And it's always the key.
Yeah, if your network is your net worth, right? That statement. So I mean, I'm here. I know Cody Sperber. So
Yeah. Well, one of the best moves I ever made was getting big on Instagram. And I paid for that. You know, it's not like I was a celebrity. I wasn't famous. I put a lot of tremendous work into it. And what I tell anybody who wants to blow up on IG is like, first step one is clean up your page. Like you mentioned, hey, we got to get a brand. It can't be J Fazio 69.
No,
right? Because it's like nobody's going to care about that.
No.
That, but you know, like if you're Veronica Perasso, now that's a name, right? And it's catchy and it's intriguing. So it's like step one, clean up your page. Your page cannot be pictures of your cat and bowls of soup and different stupid stuff. Like you really got to clean that up. So that's always phase one. Then phase two is start consistently putting out content. And I literally posted maybe 6 times a day initially. So it was a lot for me going from like no content to, and there was no interaction. Like it's a party with nobody there. Like it's an odd, you really got to kind of be tough.
you do.
You're putting out content. You feel like, oh man, nobody likes me. Nobody's coming to my party.
Right.
But I did that for 90 days straight. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going to care if I get 1 like or 10 likes or no comments. I'm just going to build the consistency, build that muscle. Then once I got 90 days in, that's when I started. And during that 90 days, I was networking with other big pages in the entrepreneur space. And this is specifically IG, like Mill Mentor, those type of pages. And I realized they're a network.
That's right.
And that network they've formed, and this is back in 2013. So I was early, but like that network was like really 10, 15, 20 creators that were at the time communicating on Kick, the communication platform. Now they use Telegram or just DM each other. But they had a cycler that it was like, okay, I'm going to post yours. And then an hour later, you're going to post hers. And then an hour later, you guys are both going to post mine. And they were all sharing followers. And I'm like, oh my God. And they called it Shout for Shouts. And I never heard of this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the game to blow up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm not ashamed to say that. I bought my way into that circle.
Yeah.
How much for a shout? How much for, how long will you leave it up for? What would you do to boost my post? And then once like for instance, once live came out, it was like they would post my content and then they'd go live with one phone showing my content saying, everybody go spam the comments because it knew that at the time it tricked the algorithm and it blew it up. And then the algorithm would change and they'd come up with a new hack and the algorithm would change a new hack.
Do the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to over 1 million. People are like, how did you blow up? I marketed myself. And it was the best money I ever spent to spend money on my own personal brand. I've started at least 6 companies with some of the biggest co-creators and influencers in the world. I've made well over $25-30 million from it. It probably realistically cost me about $1 million over the span of about 18 months to 2 years. If you look at my growth, and I stopped probably in 2018, 2019, putting money into it. And now it's just kind of whatever it's doing. But if you look at my growth, it was like this. And then one day I was spending let's say I was spending a couple $100 a day. One day I was like, you know what? I think I had like 300,000 or 400,000 followers. I was like, I'm going for it. And I started spending like $3-4 grand a day. And I did that every day for like 2, 3, 4 months. Wow. My growth went like this. Instantaneously. And here's the thing. Instagram gives you tools to pull people off the platform. You guys are pulling them into OnlyFans. I was pulling them into a free ebook funnel. Learn how to flip houses for free. Go to fliphousesbook.com. And you guys, anybody can go to that website, still live. You download a free little ebook. That ebook, I had over 80,000 downloads and was making about $2 to $3 million a year just from that one little ebook funnel.
So what it sounds like is we need to create an OnlyFans course since you already know how that game works. And we need to use her to pull the people in that want to know how she does what she does and how I do what I do, and so you're
you
the
didn't
course
see what
master.
happened, but out of the corner of my eye, Squeak rose his hand and said, "I'm in." He instantly was in. He's like, "Hey, let's do this."
Yeah.
Hey, we're sitting in my new studio.
That's
we
it.
got the resources here,
Yeah.
Veronica.
Great.
Yeah, I think-
Let's create
we can do
another
this.
stream of income for you
Yeah,
guys.
and
I would
I
love to.
think we could empower a lot of people to make
Yeah.
meaningful changes.
Look,
in
I
their
just want
life.
to, I want to help people earn some more Rolls Royces and maybe give a few away in the process.
Yeah, let's make some other dreams come true.
Let me tell you, one of my favorite friends, his name's Cole Hatter, and one of the most impressive, he owns an orphanage in Mexico. He makes his money matter. And that I think businesses that are for purpose, that actually strive to make money, but make an impact at the same time, kind of like
Yeah.
Tom's Shoes. How can I encourage you guys? Like, first off, let me just ask, maybe you're already doing some stuff. How are you helping? Are you thinking about like, how can I go upstream and help young kids in Venezuela? Are you like charity
We do send
wise?
stuff. Yeah, we do send stuff to
Yeah.
Venezuela. We
Constantly sending boxes.
we send food, clothes.
How do you
Well-
what's your big vision for making your money matter? Because you're not going to do this forever.
Yeah. I think my passions are animals.
I was gonna say cats.
Yeah,
Yeah, if she
cats.
doesn't say cats, I was gonna say it
Yeah.
for her. That's
Really?
definitely
Why
Yeah.
cats?
I mean, we have 5 rescues right now.
I feel
Yeah.
like there was a cat in my life that saved me, kind of. And I always been very attached to cats and save them. All my cats mostly been rescued, and just the impact, a positive impact that they have give me. I know they can even help people, so that's my thing.
This would be a whole other podcast, but we went and saw our friends at Myrtle Beach Safari. You know,
Yeah.
Doc Antle, I don't know, Tiger King, the big documentary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Doc's in that, and Doc's a friend of ours, and he's got Myrtle Beach Safari. And I'm not going to go into all the,
Yeah.
PETA and why he's dealing with what he's dealing, but it's such a shame that if all the legislation that's proposed right now gets passed, you'll never be able to touch a tiger, any kind of exotic cat ever again. That's really
Like that.
happening in
What
this
do you mean
country.
touch?
You'll never be able to pet one, not even in a controlled environment. Never. You'll never be able
Yeah.
to pet a lion, a tiger, any kind of exotic cat. They're doing away with all that.
Why? Because it's out of hand? Because I read a stat, something, and I don't know, maybe
No, it's not
maybe
out
the
of hand.
listeners can tell me the
Yeah.
actual answer to this, or maybe you guys know. Something about like Texas having more wild cats in captivity than any state or any place in the world.
That's not true.
These numbers are not true.
No.
They're not true. They're fabricated. This is media. You got to understand the media machine behind all this stuff.
Or
There
like
are
PETA?
groups, correct.
Yeah.
There are organizations that have agendas that raise a lot. These are charitable organizations. They're nonprofits that you can donate to. Meanwhile, Myrtle Beach Safari has never had one incident, not one. In 30 years, not one person has been hurt. And these animals are lucid and they're not on drugs. You can pet
Yeah.
them. They're totally healthy, cared for, loving, amazing animals. And you've got organizations trying to shut them down because of their own financial gain. As long as they have an opponent to fight and a bill to get passed, they can continue lobbying and raising more money. Right?
Not only that, they keep all the tigers, they keep all the donations. Not only that, how many bites from dogs has been existent versus how many accidents with
bites.
tigers?
Yeah.
And
How
what
many?
you were doing to that animal that he reacted like that?
Yeah.
All these animals,
So you guys are
Animal activists, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And not in terms of we're out there really fighting these fights yet. But you asked, what would you do with your money?
that's something you're passionate
Two
about. I can see
prongs.
you light up over it.
Yeah.
I wanna, I
Cats
wanna
is-
like
Go in there and start
get
boxing.
the microphones, like start selling a bunch of things, but people just don't.
I'd love to encourage you guys to like start to think about how you can make more of an impact, build it into the business model a little
Yes.
bit. Like
yeah.
Green Elephant Development, my development company, a portion of all of our, like we build spec houses in
Yeah.
Arcadia and Paradise Valley and Biltmore area next to Scottsdale. And every time we sell a house, we, part of the profits goes towards elephant conservation.
I would support that.
Yeah. So it's a really cool story because every house tells a story about an elephant that we're supporting. And it's just a good connection because I'm like, yeah, I want to make a lot of money, but I want to make my money matter.
Yeah.
Elephants has a
so for me
huge soul.
personally, I'm a disabled vet. So I was in the Air Force for 6 years. I worked for the government 2 years outside of that. So for 8 years, I worked for the federal government, 6 years active duty military. And PTSD is something I dealt with as a child, not because of myself, but because my father was a Marine and he was deployed a lot and he went to many wars. He was an artillery officer in the Marine Corps. And so he would come home from the desert messed up. And I saw it. And I saw it ruin my family. I saw it ruin my father to the point where he grew his hair down to here and grew a beard and moved to the middle of the woods. My parents divorced. He bought 50 acres in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, and just went off the grid completely. So I watched it. Then I joined the military myself, worked in a secure environment, and got to deal with it firsthand myself. So I personally am passionate about helping vets, specifically PTSD. And so
I'll support that, man.
That's-
Both of them. I
that's where
love
my money
animals. I
goes.
love vets.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that we've been really pushing is I'm a member of the Chandler Compadres, which is a men's group in Chandler, Arizona. And we're one of the largest supporters of underprivileged kids in our local community. So go upstream, attack the kids. Let's save all the animals. Let's
All we
help
can
the
do.
vets.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yes.
yeah.
Well, listen, if I ask a lot of these guests questions like this, we'll end this thing really strong. And you guys did a great job explaining like just this journey. And I like that you're doing it together. If you can go back and talk to your younger self, Joe, we'll start with you, Joe. Talk to your younger self, maybe 13-year-old Joe. What advice would you give that young man?
13-year-old Joe. 13-year-old Joe was extremely ambitious. I don't think that's changed. Big dreams, big hopes. I didn't understand at 13 the power of your network. We already touched on it. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't go to any fancy school, and I'm not friends with anybody I went to college with. So I didn't develop strong relationships in my early days that could have benefited me now. And now that I'm in these same social circles and corporate circles, and now I understand the value of education. And even if it's not formal education, just education in general. Now there's so many more tools available that we didn't have, right? So I wasn't self-educating. I wasn't on the internet learning about everything I was interested in. I didn't go to a fancy school. I wasn't part of a fraternity. So now I understand, had I done those things possibly at that point in my life, I'd be much further along now. I also wasn't investing in anything, right? I was investing in experiences, which is great because we're not guaranteed time on this earth. So by all means, ball out, have fun. But I was setting nothing aside. So I left myself unprepared. And if not for the fact I had an amazing supporter and generous mother who took a loan out against her house to give me my startup capital, if not for that, I may not be where I am today, right?
Your mom took out a loan against
My
her
mom took
house?
out a loan against her house. The only thing that she got in the divorce, she got a paid off house. And it wasn't an expensive house. Okay, it was like a $190,000 house. And she owed nothing. And she took out a mortgage against her house and gave me every single dollar. And that was my startup capital.
She bet on her son.
She bet on her son.
Wow.
I've paid that back, times 10, obviously.
I believe it.
But so that's it. There was no safety net for me. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a network. I had nothing. So if not for mom, right?
Yeah. So if you could go back, it's like, man, really connect those deep relationships, go deeper, really build that network, constantly self-educate.
Self-education, aligning yourself with like-minded people better than you, is fucking off. When I say I've been in music for 25 years, it was me and a bunch of friends trying to create a record label because we all wanted to be artists. So I thought I was going to be the Italian Eminem, and I realized quickly that I was not, right? But I was the smart one in the group. So I was the one that had the marketing mind and the business mind. So I just became everybody's manager, and that's what started that journey. But I was hanging out with rappers, right? I was hanging out with high school dropouts and drug dealers, and that was the network that I was in.
We would have been friends.
Yeah, we would have hung out for sure.
I believe it.
Yeah, for sure.
Best.
Yeah. But I didn't set myself up for success, for sure. Maybe in that circle I did. But yeah, I could.
Yeah, you got to find a bigger circle.
Yeah.
That I read what
So
you're
that's where I
putting
fucked
down.
up.
All right, what about you, Veronica? You can go back and talk to, I guess that's like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, Veronica. I'm just going to say you're pretty much murdering it right now at 24. I'm like,
The millionaire.
she's going to be the only one.
Yeah. What would you have
The
done
only
different?
one retired by 25, living her dream life.
I think I have a couple years before that where I was hanging out with the wrong people, right? Yes.
For sure. Yeah. Her Miami days were not.
Miami will get you.
Oh yeah, it eats you up and throw you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that. I think I would have changed that. And but even that, it made me who I am now. So
Yeah.
I can't regret much.
Yeah, she went through the, the Britney, like shaved her head, dyed it blonde,
Yeah,
got tattoos.
I shaved my
she definitely had
head.
a,
You did?
yeah, she had a
Yeah.
meltdown. Yeah, at
Yeah.
a young age. Yeah.
But that's what it got me to start, only caring for myself and start caring about my future. Stop.
How do you handle negative comments?
Those are my favorites for me. They make me laugh. I like when thank you for saving the ocean and all of that. Yeah.
If you don't get the joke, it's all the plastic, right? She's always
Yeah.
getting the plastic
Thank
jokes.
you for the plastic out of the ocean or whatever.
That's a lame joke.
Because it's all in her
know.
shit.
That's not even a good joke.
It's not
What
really
a
good
horrible
joke,
cut down.
right?
When
But
she
they
had
do it a
short hair,
lot.
it was a lot of boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Constantly,
When,
yeah.
you look like a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
All of that. It was very funny for me.
You look like a 13-year-old boy. As a super fan, can I please get a video of you saying my name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for other girls, affects them a lot. I don't think it's nice to leave negative comments to anybody. You don't know how much affects them. I recently saw a girl that took her life, also a creator, for these kind of things. And they don't affect me as much. Sometimes I can tell you, like, do I really look like a boy? But they don't affect me that bad. They just fun for me. So
Yeah, so you got
Please
thick
don't.
skin. You're tough.
kind
If you
of,
can
yeah.
move here with what'd you say?
I was gonna
How much
say,
money?
Yeah, she had $100.
$100 and make
that's a
it
true
in
story.
America.
You have to be a little
You can take
tough.
some negative comments.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so her mom tells the story, she was living in a very small town outside of Caracas, Venezuela, which is not a safe place. Okay. And the final straw, I guess, if you will, to get Veronica to this country, they were in the house and they heard the sound of gunshots, but then they heard it closer than just outside. And bullets were coming into the house, hitting furniture while they're in the house. And these are just stray bullets, not like they were targets, but that's how bad it had gotten. And so that was kind of the final straw. But if you can deal with that shit, right?
Yeah.
I think that was kind of normal for the country.
Yeah, that's kind of normal. It's normal. Gunshots and
it's
being
like,
robbed because you have an iPhone. Yeah.
I
normal.
just gave up at some point of having phone because someone pointed a gun at my head for a phone. So that wasn't crazy for me. When I just moved to this country, it was a whole adventure getting to the job because here, like in Venezuela, you get a bus and everything's kind of close. You can walk everywhere. Here it was like you need a car. I didn't know how to drive. So I got a bike. I would drive 40 minutes to the job I found and 40 minutes back to the house at like 11 p.m. And I feel happy because at least I would know I wouldn't get killed for a phone in my bike. So I just feel happy to be here. It is
Perspective.
It
yeah.
really is perspective.
So when we hear people complain about how hard they have it,
You're not
I can't
getting on a bike
acknowledge
and
it,
driving
right?
an hour.
'Cause
That's why a lot of immigrants specifically do really well as entrepreneurs and as investors. They have the ability to push through a lot of pain because they're like, man, where I came from and what I dealt with, this is nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. I got to work long hours. I got to live below my means. I got to invest and save and invest. I know a lot of investors that they didn't have any resources. They literally just worked super hard, saved every dollar, and eventually bought the right money-making assets,
Mhm.
and then just kept doing that for a long period of time. And eventually they just broke through.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
a bit harsh in what I'm going to say, but the reason that I never went the motivational speaker route and never put myself in the spotlight, which I could easily do, right? I have the money, I have the know-how.
Yeah, you
I
know
can
how to blow
market
somebody
myself,
up.
right? Yeah, I can make myself
How
famous.
come you're
tomorrow.
not blowing me up? That's what I want to know.
Well,
Come on.
I guess I
Come
am
on,
after
Joe.
this. Yeah,
Let's go.
let's do it. We're gonna. I'm telling you, we're gonna make money together. I'm saying it. Remember this.
Like
So I'm gonna say this. When I hear a lot of the motivational speakers, we're all on Instagram, right? We're all in social, we're all in the circles. Not all of them, but some. And these guys start giving their tough motivational speeches, and I hear about what they had to go through, and this is what they're using,
Mhm.
right, to incentivize or inspire people to go do great things. And they still sound like bitches. I'm like, my wife has bigger balls than you.
Yeah.
You know, and you're the one giving advice to all these people, you know, they don't actually understand what struggle is. They just don't know. And I'm not pretending to be that person either, but I did sleep on an air mattress for 2 years and I had a negative net worth at 26, right? So to then become a multimillionaire before 30, I had to make some adjustments and I had to fight my ass off. And I grew up the son of a Marine. Doesn't make me better. She's more gangster than I am, right? But just to hear on social what these people are saying and talking about and how hard it was. And I'm like, you won't even work. If you bitch about working 40, 50, 60 hours, if you're bitching about that, then you're already set up for failure. I mean, that's...
For me, it was always, I was so passionate about what I was doing and I had so much internal drive. I didn't need a single bit of external motivation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with real estate and the dream of what it was going to do for me and my family. I didn't care if it took 3 months, 9 months, or 4 years. I never put artificial time restraints on my success. I just made a decision. I'm going to be successful. And what does that mean to me? I'm going to create success habits.
That's it. That's the David Goggins mindset, right?
I'm
You're
just gonna-
your own motivator.
Yeah, I'm going
It's
to
in
create
your head.
successful
Yeah.
habits and over time I'll get there. And it was hard. The beginning part sucks as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be a little insane and just have so much passion and internal drive
Yeah.
because there is no red carpet.
Yeah, it seems
There
like
is no-
these motivators need motivators. And I'm like, man, if you don't have that voice, if you don't have the internal drive, there's no way, because that person's not going to be there every morning to get you out of bed and hold your hand. and
Yeah.
get you-
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
So the lesson in all that is, you either have the drive because you are in the right money-making vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
or you're in the wrong vehicle and you're the one that's taking long lunch breaks and skirting out early and
Yeah.
and cutting corners and not putting in a 10,000%, not setting a standard. And we know these people because they're viruses around the office.
Yeah.
And they just do just enough not to get fired
Yep.
that, and they're always toxic and negative and talking smack. I was never that way. I was always uplifting everybody. Like, come on, man, we got to go places. We got to build this thing. And I hated my boss. I still acted like this is
Yeah.
the most important thing.
Oh, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger says, don't have a plan B. It's plan A.
Yeah.
That's it. If you give yourself a plan B, you've already accepted
And
that
you
you're going
came
to fail.
over, you didn't
right?
have you had
she
to
had no
make
plan B,
some moves.
Well,
You had to
it's
survive.
not about who, like measurement, who had the worst luck or whatever. It's about who is just going to work the hardest. Just do what you
Yeah,
say you
stop
was
feeling
going to do.
sorry for yourself.
Yeah, stop putting people like, oh, feel bad for me. Look how good I did. Just do something good. Just go.
Well, I'll tell you what, if nothing else, you guys are so sexy. Great things are just going to happen to you just because you're beautiful, right? I'm just kidding. No, you guys are fantastic hard workers. It's cool to see you guys winning together, and I hope you guys have a long life of love and tons of money. And let's make some of that money matter. Let's do
Make
some
some
real
of this
estate
money
deals.
matter.
Let's make some bigger impact.
It's been a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. Hey guys, if you loved this episode, make sure you drop us a 5-star review. We're really blowing this podcast up. I'm having a ton of fun, having amazing guests like Joe and Veronica on the show. We got some big ones coming up too. I'm really excited about that. And just appreciate you guys as listeners, all 12 of you. It's been great growing this podcast with you guys.
Do we get to sign the board?
Yeah, you're going to sign the board. Yeah, we're in this new studio. We got a cool board back there.
It looks amazing.
And
this studio.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're putting money into it because this is like my passion project. I'm doing this not to make money. I'm not doing sponsors or any of that stuff. I want to share cool stories with the world and have fun interviews like this because I learn a lot too along the way. So appreciate your guys' time. Until next time, we're out of here. Take care. Comb your hair. Peace. Hey, thanks for being a subscriber of the Clever Investor Show. As a thank you gift, we wanted to give you something that we know is going to help you get started as a creative real estate investor. It's our Real Estate Success Kit, and it's completely free. Just go to www.reisuccesskit.com to customize your kit, but essentially it's a collection of 15 training tools designed to help you get results quickly as a creative real estate investor. From systems to lead generation to finding cash buyers to creative ways to close deals and get paid. Your free REI Success Kit is just a few clicks away. Once again, the website's www.reisuccesskit.com.